Guys, welcome back to Always Be Learner. So now we are just going to implement the default and static methods in interface. We already seen the introductory part. Now we are just going to cover the practical, how we can use the default and static and how they are differ from the legacy interfaces. So let's go to the workspace. I have here this particular workspace. So let's create one particular interface. Let's say I'm just giving my legacy interface, right? So first we will check how these are differ. I'm just introducing one method over here. Now I'm just going to create one class, my legacy impl or implementation. I'm just saying just implement my interface, my legacy interface, and I'm just overriding the method, right? Nothing new in this. So you can just override this method here, or you can just give your logic. Let's say I'm just saying this is show method. Right now, let's say you have one more class which is going to my legacy new, going to implement this particular interface, and here also I am just going to override this method hello from new, right? Just giving one statement here. Now let's say in future there is a requirement where you have to introduce new method, right, in this particular interface. So what you will do, earlier we are just introducing new methods. Let's say I'm saying print. In this way you will have to introduce, but whenever you will introduce, you can see here it is showing me the error. Here also it is showing me the error. Why? Because you have introduced the new method, right, and that particular method is not implemented in your classes, right? Let's say you have 2 3 4 classes which are going to implement your interfaces. So everywhere you will face this problem. So you will have to go there and then you will have to implement those method, newly created method, right? Let's say I'm just going to use all this thing, and now it will work, right? But for avoiding this type of issues, what Java 8 is saying, Java is saying Java 8 is saying that dear, you can just create a method which will be default method. If you want, you can use. If you don't want, there is no need to use in your existing implementation also, right? Let's say I have created one default method. So how you will create? You will have to use this keyword default before your method signature, so it will behave like a default method. Now just go back and remove this method. Let's say I'm just going to remove. I don't want this method in this implementation, right? And I want to use this method over here only. So print, let's say, now you can see as per your requirement you are going to use this particular default method here only, and you don't want to use in this particular implementation. So Java 8 will allow you to introduce new method. That method would be default method and it would not break any existing implementation. That is why Java introduced new concept of default method in Java 8, right? Same way, if you have any static method, if you want to you know introduce, let's say I am saying say hello to all. This is my static method. Hello all, welcome to always we learner, right? I'm just going to introduce this method. Now you can also use this particular static method anywhere, right? If you want to use here, let's say I am just going to create one kind of client here, and this client is going to call my this particular method. You can easily call here, correct? So how you can use these methods? Whenever you have any new method introduced in your existing interfaces, at that time you can introduce the default method, as well as you can create the static method which will have the kind of the static functionalities, right? So all these are now allowed in Java 8. So I hope you are clear now how these are differ from the existing interfaces or legacy interfaces which we were working before Java 8, and how we can create the default and static methods in Java 8 interfaces, right? So I hope this will help you to understand the default and static method behavior, and thanks for watching. Please do subscribe. Always we learner. We'll see you in next video where we will cover so many new features of Java 8. Thank you so much.